behalf of the Himalayan Club, I'd like to invite you for this talk this evening, and great to have Sujoy here with us. It's come all the way from Calcutta. It's his second talk in virtually a year. He delivered an amazing talk on Tenzing Norgay about a year back. I don't know if some of you have met who listened in. Yeah. So I'd just like to little bit start off by talking a little bit about the people of Nepal. We're going to see a lot of mountains of Nepal during Sujoy's presentation, which is coming up. But I just thought that it'll help us start linking with Nepal's life. And right now we are at Lodi Road, so how does Nepal feel? So I'm going to give a couple of instances of things which are discussed in the mountaineering community quite keenly. So I'd like to talk to you about a gentleman called Apa Sherpa first. So Apa Sherpa has climbed Everest 21 times, and in our last conversation with the Asian Trekking Group, which is one of the prominent groups which takes people for climbing in Nepal, he did his last 4 climbs, climb 18, 19, 20 and 21 with Asian Trekking. So if you see a normal person heading to Everest, he would spend about 45 days acclimatizing, doing ups and downs on various camps. First, you just go and come back. Second night, you stay for a couple of nights, then come back. So that process goes on and on. So Apa Sherpa used to show up at base camp. He used to stay there for 2 nights, and then he would say, "I'm ready to go to Camp 1, which is just across from the ice fall, and stay there 1 night at Camp 1, come back and say, I'm ready to now climb the mountain." That would be about 1/10 of the time of a normal person kind of climbing. So the discussion veered that what is different in terms of folks in Nepal. I mean, what is the process of acclimatization? And what kind of transpired was that this is conjecture within the mountaineering network, that they compared it a yak with a cow. So if you see a body of a yak, it's much smaller. The rib cage of a yak extends virtually 2/3 of the body, and a cow is exactly the reverse. It's bigger and the rib cage is smaller. So the Nepalese guys, I think some of the Sherpas have that ability to acclimatize at a lightning pace, so that's a bit about Nepal. I'm also going back to an incident which happened when I was 11 years old. It was my first meeting with Edmund Hillary, who was a friend of my father, Captain Kohli, who had climbed Everest. And the discussion came on a Yeti, and that does a Yeti is it real? And Edmund Hillary apparently had been asked that question time and time again. So nobody would bother about his climb, they would ask about Yeti. So he got so frustrated that he felt that let me just blow this myth either way. So he went to the Kumjung monastery where the Yeti scalp was kind of lying. And he said, I want to take this to the US for testing, and we'll have the best labs in the world look at this particular scalp, whatever is lying there. It's been lying there apparently for 200 years. So the local Nepalese folks, they refused. They said, this is for us something we will not send it off, so you will have to keep it with you. And we cannot let you go alone, we will send a custodian with you. So one Nepalese gentleman, Chungi Sherpa, accompanied Hillary, and they land up in New York. The test proved that it's a bear. On the way back, they reach London, and they drop in to meet the Queen, who's not at the palace, but they leave behind a gift. And incidentally, this is the year 1960 I'm talking about. In 61, the Queen Elizabeth lands up in Nepal and remembers that this Sherpa turned up and came and dropped in to meet me. I must send word that I'm here. So this gentleman gets a feeler that the Queen is asking for him. His wife is 8 months pregnant. They are at the Khumbu area, which is a good 3 weeks away from Kathmandu. But the lady who's 8 months pregnant says, I'm ready to move at lightning speed to get to Kathmandu. So they move 12 hours a day walking, and They reach just short of Kathmandu when she goes into labor. So she says, I will just need half an hour. She takes a short break and she's back on the trail. And the queen, when she heard the story and saw this, she said, would you mind if we name this baby Philip? It's a very unusual request, but at that time situation was because on her husband. So Philip is now I think about 55 years old. He lives in Nepal only, and so